I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Welcome. This is the free astrotheology course. Our textbook still is The Devil's Pulpit. All right. Mine is beat up. Uh, but anyway, here it is. The link to the free PDF is in the description area of the video, along with a lot of stuff from me. So y'all check it out. You really do need to have the PDF, okay? You really do need to have it. Anyway, let's get started. I'm actually excited about the material we're going to get into today. We're going to get into a lot of the constellations, and we're going to deal with the deity, okay? The deity that most people are worshiping, which is the Tetragrammaton. All right, so let's pick up where we left off. No summary or no review, rather, today. Page 135, page 132. 132. Okay, so let's begin. At the bottom of the page. So last video we left off with I'm just going to read this one sentence. Why are these particular festivals kept on these particular days? So these festivals have to do with Mary, right? Her purification on February 2nd, her annunciation on March 25, her visitation on July 2nd, her dispensation on January 23rd, her commemoration on July 16th, her nativity on September 8th, her conception on December 8th, and then her assumption on August 5th. So these are all of the festivals or celebrations to Mary that the Catholic Church has. So you remember that England only recognizes or celebrates the first two. All right, so let's continue. Page 132 at the bottom. Of the Virgin Mary, it was first observed that epithet added to her name, that's the Virgin, right? That epithet added to her name bears no such sense in its primitive application as modern parlance attaches to it. Y'all got that? In other words, to be a virgin in 1831 didn't have the same definition or meaning that it had at the time that Mary allegedly lived on earth, okay? So what is this an example of? Denotative, a denotative meaning of a word being changed. So that's connotative linguistics. Why? Social engineering. Why? To control your perception, to change your perception, and to control what you perceive, what you believe, and what you do. Okay? So let's continue. For though she is repeatedly called a virgin, she is never called a maid. Y'all remember that? The handmaiden on what page was that? On page 130, Mary is called a handmaiden. Okay, but she's never called a maid. The term virgin being applicable to any virtuous person, either married or single, and either male or female, so a man could be a virgin. Okay, although married and sexually active, a man or a woman could be called a virgin. All right? The term virgin being applicable to any virtuous person. All right? So any virtuous person, sexually active or not, was a virgin at the time Mary allegedly lived. Okay? But in 1831, a virgin was a person who had never had a sexual experience. Okay? So you should ask yourself, why would they change the meaning of virgin? What's their motive? What outcome were they looking to achieve? Right, y'all? So we have to think critically. Okay. So the term virgin being applicable to any virtuous person, either married or single, and either male or female, except where she says herself, quote unquote, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, and that God, and that Zeus, and that Odin, and that Magi, quote, had regarded the low estate of his handmaiden, end quote. The low estate of his handmaiden. Page 133, first paragraph. The celebrated 7th chapter of Isaiah, verse 14, rendered in the Septuagint of the Vatican, and then it gives us the Greek of Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14. And in our English, it reads this way, y'all, quote, behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Emmanuel, end quote. Y'all know there's a Baptist song, Sing Emmanuel Sing, or something like that. When made to bear the preposterous sense which the privileged deceivers of the people put upon it, these would be your scribes, Bible translators, and the clergy. Okay, y'all, and the clergy. These are the deceivers. These are who? Secret society members and their minions. Okay? So they're the ones. So these scribes, these Bible translators, they are what? Grammarians. They create and change the grammar rules. All right, to suit their needs. Okay? Where was I? Okay. So when made to bear the preposterous sense which the privileged deceivers of the people put upon it, that is, virgin, right, is only one among 10,000. Y'all hear that? It's only one amongst 10,000 instances of the egregious ignorance or wicked fraud, of which, if they dared stand in controversy before us, they would stand convicted. The word should signify a virgin in their sense of it, not being, and here's the Ibaryath word in biblical Hebrew pictographs, okay, which is the word here used, but we see the other word. Okay, so let's go over this. The word which should signify a virgin in their sense of it. Their sense of it is what? Someone who never had a sexual experience. So the word which should signify a virgin in their sense of it should be this last word in the biblical Hebrew script. All right? But here is the word that's used in the text. This is the word that's actually there, y'all. All right, this is the word that's actually there, written in the biblical Hebrew script. Okay, but it has the ancient Ibaryath meaning or definition. Okay, so they change words. That's what the author is telling you. The grammarians, the Bible translators, the scribes, Jeremiah 8, verse 8, they changed the words. So this is why I'm always telling you, if you're reading these scriptures, let me rephrase that. If you don't know ancient Ibaryath, then you're worshiping the scribes who did the translation. Because you don't know anything but what they tell you. You can't think your way through it critically nor analytically. You're totally reliant upon them, and whatever they say is what you believe. So tell me, who are you serving? You're serving that scribe, right? Ultimately, you're serving the scribe. But the scribe is employed by the church. Y'all got it? So it doesn't matter which religion you're in, whether you're a Hebrew Israelite or a Christian, no matter what kind of Christian, you're still using a version of the Bible that has been translated by your enemy. Now, I'm saying enemy because that's what it says in Deuteronomy 28. All right? And anyway, someone who would trick you and do these kinds of things to you, common sense should tell you that they are enemies, right? That's common sense. Jeremiah 8, verse 8. The word blessed added to the name virgin. So virgin, we should clarify, is actually a title, right, y'all? In this case, itself interprets that word. All right? So the word blessed interprets virgin. So let's see where he's going with this. And excludes the notion of barrenness. See, a virgin is barren, right? A virgin, by definition, must be barren. These mosquitoes are, man. Ooh, I have to find a studio, y'all. I'm at, let me show you this. I've been here before. I wanted to be close to where I need to be. So this is this is a traditional type of coffee shop. It's outside. See everything, and they have these areas where you can sit and be in nature. So I chose to come here because it's close to the place I need to be, and I can be in nature. But they don't do anything about the mosquitoes. They don't have any type of anything to keep the mosquitoes off of you. So I don't plan on coming back here for a long time. And it's expensive here. But anyway, that don't matter. So let me bear with it. Hold on. I don't know if my picture is too dark. Is the picture too dark, y'all? Let me try to turn this around. See if the picture is better. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. I'm in a hatchet. This is a hut. These are common. These like hatchet roof type of settings like this is pretty common. Let me see if it's gonna be any better. Anyway, I'm tired. I don't feel like that looks raggedy. Let me turn that back around. I don't want that in the view. That looks too raggedy for me, y'all. Let me go back to where I was. All right. Anyway, y'all, bear with me. I'm getting bit on my head by the mosquitoes. Dang, let me see, what time is it? Maybe I should leave. I got an hour. No, I don't have time to go someplace else. Anyway, I won't come back for a while. Okay. So, but the word blessed added to the name of virgin itself interprets that word, interprets the word virgin, and excludes the notion of barrenness, excludes the notion of never having been pregnant, never having given birth to a child. It excludes it. Blessed excludes never having given birth. That should be obvious, right? Because the fruit of the womb is a blessing. But anyway, let's let the author develop his own case. All right. So the word blessed excludes the notion of barrenness, which the word virgin alone, in the sense which it bears in the translation, but not in the original translation, might seem to carry. Y'all see that? And this, the more especially, as the blessedness predicated of this virgin is the particular blessedness of the fruitfulness and abundance. Y'all got that? So the word blessedness, or blessed rather, has to do with abundance. Fruitfulness, as in fruit of the womb. Okay, or abundance. An abundant or a large number of heirs. Masculine and feminine babies. Right, y'all? That's what blessed tells us about this virgin. So this virtuous woman was blessed. So the virtuous woman had to have many fruit of her womb come out, right? That's what the author is trying to tell us. And I think it's effective. Let's continue. Okay, so, and this, the more especially, as the blessedness predicated of this virgin is the peculiar blessedness of fruitfulness and abundance. So, that's the meaning or the nuance of the meaning of blessed that applies to the virgin. Okay, when you put those two words together, it's fruitfulness, which and abundance. That means again a lot of masculine and or feminine heirs, babies coming out of her, and signifies the overflowing or that quantity over and above in exactly full measure. So she would have, this virgin, because she's blessed, would have had more heirs, more babies than the common woman. Y'all got it? The full measure filled up and pressed down and running over, or the handful thrown into the bargain. So you buy something, right? They want to give you an incentive to buy it. They throw in a little extra more, or to say thank you, they throw in some more. Okay, that's what he's talking about. So that part, which is, they press it down. Let's say you buy some rice or some flour or whatever you buy, they press it down into the container. Okay, so it's packed. There's no air in there. They push all the air out. Okay, so you got a full measure. And then they pour, when it's full, they pour some more on top of that. That's a blessing. Okay, it's an abundance. Okay, when you pour more on there, it's going to run over. Okay, so it says that amount that we just discussed over and above what was exactly purchased, which is called the blessing. Y'all see it? That's the blessing. As Elizabeth, when full of the Holy Ghost, explaineth its sense in these words. So Elizabeth explains this blessed state in these words, quote unquote. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, end quote. That is, not the son or daughter, but most literally the fruit. That is, apples, pears, plums, mango, pineapple, watermelon. What other fruit y'all like? Coconut. I just had coconut. What else? Oranges, lemons, lime. What else, y'all? Mangosteen. What else? What other fruits are there? Oh, jackfruit, durian, avocado, you name it. So already we know what's happening here, right? So Elizabeth was not talking about, according to the author, when she said, blessed be thy womb. Let me read that again. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. So we were all taught in Christianity that she was talking about a little baby Jesus, right? But it's very clear where the author is going, which is that this fruit is a literal fruit, and the womb is Mama Earth. So what I'm thinking right now, and you're probably also thinking the same, is that Mary is the constellation or the zodiac sign Virgo. But let's let the author prove his point. Let's let the author speak. As Elizabeth, when full of the Holy Ghost, explaineth its sense, that is of blessed, it is in these words, quote unquote, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, end quote. That is, not the son or daughter. Not the son or daughter. Not Jesus, the Christ figure, or any of Mary's other heirs, babies. But most literally, so Elizabeth is talking in a literal sense when she says fruit. The apples, the pears, the plums, this is talking about Virgo. All types of corn and wheat, because what is Virgo holding in her hand? Corn and wheat, or corn or wheat, right? Depending on the picture that you're looking at. Everybody got it? For the abundance of which bestowed on man by this particular virgin, all generations shall call her blessed, or the fruitful virgin. That's right, y'all. So every harvest season, that's the contract of what? That's the contract of grace, the covenant of grace. Mother Earth gives forth her fruitful abundance. All the fruit you can eat, all the fruit you can pick, all the wine or all the grapes you can make. Okay, y'all? All the wheat, all the corn, all the whatever else you want in terms of vegetation, and the flesh of fruit, and the blood of fruit. Mother Earth gives it in the autumn, at the harvest. Okay, so that's Virgo, the constellation Virgo. Y'all got it? And this is every year. Every autumn. So that means that every generation will call her blessed. Why? Because they get the harvest. Y'all see it? As her husband, as the Virgin Mary, her husband Joseph, who had nothing to do with the production of the fruits of the harvest or of the harvest month. Joseph had nothing to do with that, right? Out of his control. He didn't have anything to do with it. All right. Was yet appointed to preside over that month. So Joseph presides over the month of the harvest, the first month of the harvest. That's what I think they're talking about. I gotta let my sleeves down. I'm being eaten by the mosquitoes. Oof. Hold on. This is very distracting. You can imagine how mosquito bites feel, not just one, but many. All right, let me put these down. Maybe that'll help me somewhat. Whew. I hope I don't start sweating. All right. Okay, so let's continue, y'all. So now we're dealing with Joseph. So clearly the author is going to tell us the astrological meaning of Joseph. We already know the doctrinal meaning of Joseph, right? We already know that. So let's continue. So remember, Joseph presides over that month, and was rather a husbandman than a husband. So what's a husbandman? As he is expressly worshipped in those words of the Holy Catholic Church, quote unquote, all hail, honor of the patriarchs, steward of the holy house of God, of the holy house of Zeus, Odin, the magicians, the magi, etc., y'all, who has conserved, y'all got that? Who has conserved the bread of life. So when you see bread, you should think Virgo. Why? Because Virgo is holding the wheat stalk or the stalk of corn. Okay? And that's the harvest time. The bread of life and the wheat of the elect. So who do you think went out there and took care or gathered the harvest in? The husbandmen, or the husbandman in this case. They're farm workers, right? Husbandry. Y'all got it? So that's the husbandman. That's Joseph, a husbandman. So the author continues, we're on page 134. Which if it led us not into temptation, listen y'all, if it led us not into temptation to suspect what particular virgin it was, so this is what? I think it's Matthew 6:9, the Lord's Prayer, right? Lead us not into temptation. Okay. Give us our bread for this day. Okay, that's what he's talking about. If it led us not into temptation to suspect what particular virgin it was, whose greatest festival is celebrated on the 15th of August. So Joseph presides over August. Joseph presides over August. Joseph is a husbandman. Okay? So now the greatest festival is celebrated on the 15th of August. Who presides over wheat and corn? And who is the particular handmaid of the Lord? We have never contemplated the constellation Virgo with her extended arm in which is the bright star Matrix, holding in her hand an ear of corn called Spica virginis. So the ear of corn, or that stalk of wheat, is called the Spica virginis, and the Matrix is the bright star in her arm, okay, or in Virgo's arm. The stars which constitute her head being scarcely visible with the naked eye. So, listen, y'all, important point. So you can see Virgo's body, but her head is very tiny. The stars that make up her head are very tiny. Okay? Or by tiny, I mean barely visible without a telescope or some other type of apparatus to allow you to see it, to visualize it, okay? All right. The figure is chiefly to be made out by those stars which go to the making up of the hand. Y'all got that? Virgo. Virgo. If you want to see Virgo, the Spica virginis, you need to check out those stars or search for the stars that make up her hand. So y'all know this is going to handmaiden, right? This is why Virgo is called the handmaiden. But anyway, let's continue. The figure is chiefly to be made out by those stars which go to the making up of the hand, which give her the distinction of being not the foot or the leg or the head, but the handmaid of the capital Lord, that is, the maid with the hand. Y'all got that? The maid with the hand. So let me see if I can find where the questions that he asked. Okay. So go back to page 130. Go back to page 130. And then look at the last paragraph on page 130. This is what it says. And when she appeared in that city of Judah, talking about the Virgin Mary, which was situated in the hill country, remember, we had the author presented to us some critical thinking questions. One of them was, why was the city of Judah situated in the hill country? Okay? So now let's listen to this. Why did she, that is, why did the Virgin Mary, why did she say that God had regarded the low estate of his handmaiden? Of his handmaiden. Low estate. That means below something. Estate, right? So a group of stars that are below something, the low estate. Just like you may own land, flat land, the low estate compared to what? Let's say the mountains. Y'all got it? The low estate of his handmaiden. Okay, so this is saying that God owns the constellations. All right? Why did she say that she was his handmaiden? Not meaning, as God, as Zeus forbid, we should think, this is on page 131, that she could mean his handy-maiden, but yet not his foot-maiden, nor his head-maiden. Remember, she has a tiny head. It's very difficult to see Virgo's head without some type of equipment, telescope, etc. Nor anything else but his handmaiden. So we just got the answer to that question, right? We just got the answer to that question. Let me go back. Where am I? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Where am I? Okay. So the answer to that question again is, here it is. The figure is chiefly, talking about Virgo, chiefly made out by those stars which go to the making up of the hand, which give her, that's Virgo, the distinction of being not the foot or the leg or the head, but the hand made of the Lord, capital Lord. That is the maid with the hand. All right, the maid with the hand. But why was her name Mary? Why was her name Mary? It is precisely the same as the name Miriam. Okay, so Miriam and Mary are the same name. Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, and literally signifies myrrh of the sea. So Miriam signifies myrrh, Myrrh, of the sea, Sea. So now here we are dealing with water. Or, notice this, or lady or mistress of the sea, Sea. Now, how many of you women want to be called a mistress? If you're calling someone a mistress, what are you saying about her? Is she virtuous or is she a whore? That's so-and-so's mistress. Mistress is a side chick, right? Or a prostitute. But anyway, let's see what the author has to say. It is precisely the same as Smyrna. Let me show y'all that. Just remove the S from the Smyrna, and you can see it. Take a look at my finger. Delete the S. Okay? So, Mary, Miriam, Smyrna. All right? Smyrna, the name of the six of the seven churches which are in Asia. And if I remember correctly, those seven churches that are in Asia, these are what? The summer, or the constellation, the constellations where the sun is ascending and the sun is gaining dominance or preeminence. So beginning with spring, right? Winter has been defeated. Spring is here, opening up with the autumn equinox. So there's justice, right? Jesus is born according to Christianity. According to Judaism, that's the Passover. Astronomically or astrologically thinking, the sun is passing over the celestial equator around March 19, 2021, maybe 22. That's the Passover. Sun is passing over. That's the Jewish Passover, and that's the Christian resurrection of Christ. All right? So let's go back. Pick up where we left off. So Smyrna is the name of the six of the seven churches which are in Asia, addressed by Christ in the Revelation, and which I have demonstrated to be none other than the seventh golden candlestick, that is, the seven constellations, the ram, the bull, the twins, the crab, the lion, the virgin, and the balance, respectively, of March. So the ram is Aries. The ram is Aries. Think about that, y'all. The ram is Aries. Hiram Abiff. Hiram Abiff, the high ram. Bull, Hiram Abiff. The ram is Aries. The bull is Taurus. The twins are Gemini. The crab is Cancer, of course. The lion is Leo, the lion of the tribe of Judah. The virgin is Virgo, and the balance is Libra or Libri, however you want to say it. Okay? So these are the zodiac signs of March, April, May, June, July, August, and September. That's 7. Okay? Y'all got it? 7 congregations of Asia, in the midst of which the sun walketh in his annual course through the summer months, or reign of the kingdom of God. Y'all got that? So the summer months, actually it's spring, summer, all the way up until September. September 29th, that's the opening of the gates of hell. All right? So spring and summer, those 7, or up through the harvest, that's the reign of the kingdom of God, right? The sun is there. Okay, so light is dominating. But the light, of course, gets humiliated and dominated by the sun's evil brother, who is Seth, right? In the Egyptian deity, the Egyptian god, Set, as in sunset, as in the sun is falling. Okay, and as the sun falls, the number of daylight hours decrease and the number of nighttime hours increase. So there's a constant battle between what? Light and darkness, a constant changing. Light, the days get longer starting in March at the equinox. They get longer. They reach their maximum length at the summer solstice around June 21. And from there, the sun begins to fall. And it continues to fall. Okay, so when it begins to fall, the nights are getting longer. Okay? And they continue to get longer until they reach their maximum, which is the winter solstice, December 21, 22. And then December 25, the sun begins to ascend northward again. And now, for the first time, the sun begins to, or the length of days begin to lengthen. All right, until they reach their maximum again at the summer solstice. Y'all see that? So this is the constant battle between light and darkness, between good and evil. Y'all got it? This is where the notion of white as in white light, as in brightness, brilliance. White is the sovereign of the land, and black is dead. Black is evil. White is good. And so we Moors considered ourselves to be what? Brilliant. The light, bright, higher self, men and women. Okay, so we were free white people. Free white people, but when we lost our nationality and our heritage, the hybrids switched it up the same way they switched everything. Right? They call us black. And themselves white. Free white people, the sovereign of the land. Okay? And so, according to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the Moroccan Empire and the United States for North America, well, they do indeed. Now, y'all know my view on this, but they do indeed have possession of it. Until when? Until a competent heir, a competent rightful heir, appears to reclaim his or her estate. Y'all see that? See, the natural laws are in the treaty and the Constitution for the United States of North America. It's in both documents. Do y'all see it? I hope everybody can see it. Anyway, let's continue. Actually, I like this part about the 7 congregations. Hold on, give me 1 second. So remember, Miriam, Mary, Miriam, Myrrh, Smyrna, they're the same. Smyrna is number 6 of the 7 churches that are in Asia that Christ talked about in Revelation. Okay? Now the author brings to our attention that he has demonstrated, and he did, we went through it, that these 7 churches are the 7 golden candlesticks. And these 7 golden candlesticks, a golden candlestick, gold, the sun, candlestick, candles have a flame, right? Fire is the sun. So these are constellations. So the 7 candlesticks are the 7 constellations of the sun. All right, y'all, the ram, the bull, the twins, the crab, the lion, the virgin, and the balance, or Libra. Everybody got that? In the midst of which the sun walketh in his annual course through the summer months, or the reign of the kingdom of heaven. So the kingdom of the heaven, I like that. Now you know what the kingdom of the heaven is, or the kingdom of the heavens. You know what it is now. It's those constellations that the sun goes through in the summer months from March to September. That's the kingdom of the heavens. Y'all should remember that. That is the kingdom of the heavens. It is none other than the name of Myra. Going back to Mary's name, right? It is none other than the very name of Myra, the mother of the beautiful Adonis. Now y'all should know where this is going, right? Adonis in the pagan mythology, as you will find that very name of Adonis to this day given by the Jews to their supreme God, Yahu, Y-A-H-U, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, however you pronounce it, whatever vowels you put in it, whatever order of the vowels you put in it. I think there are about 26 different ways that it's spelled and pronounced. Is still the same pig with a different color lipstick. It's still the Tetragrammaton, regardless of how you pronounce it. Again, Myrrh, the mother of the beautiful Adonis. In the pagan mythology, as you will find that very name of Adonis to this day given by the Jews to their supreme God, Yahoo. This is Adonai. Adonai. If you look in the Strong's lexicon under Hebrews 3:3068, you'll see that they got the vowels from Adonai. But the word is too holy for anyone to pronounce it. Right? Remember? Y'all remember that? That's what it's telling you in Strong's. That's what you were taught also. Remember, y'all? So the Jewish people, they never pronounced the name. But the point is this. The point is this. Adonai is the son of Myra in pagan mythology. So now here you see an example of paganism and Christianity. What is this telling us, or providing us evidence of? That Christianity is paganism. But you must realize that paganism is anything but Christianity. So Christianity stole from these different schools of thoughts and sciences. Stole. And then called them pagans. The same way they stole from the Moors and then called us what? Called us everything but who we are. Crooks, thieves, squatters, stateless people, Africans, African American, whatever type of Moor you are. I'm talking about the brand that's been placed upon you. Not all Moors are so-called African American. In fact, y'all should know that we are not African American, right? These are just bywords, brands. Okay? So this is where you get the vowels from the Tetragrammaton. Don't take my word for it. Look in your Strong's lexicon. It'll tell you that that the vowels for the Tetragrammaton are taken from Adonis, Adonai, Adon. Okay? Now again, let me stress, this sermon was given in 1831. This book was put together in 1854 or 57. So this author had no knowledge about any of the arguments going on today. Is infused, in fact, is Adonis. As you will find that very name of Adonis to this day, that's in 1831, given by the Jews, that is a religion, not a nation, not a bloodline group of people associated or connected to a landmass with a common culture, with a land grant from the Most High. No, it is a religion. Anybody can join it. All right, it's Jeremiah 8, verse 8. Okay, to this day, Adonis, to this day, given by the Jews to their supreme God, Yahoo, and by our Catholic brethren to their supreme God, Jesus Christ, as in their antiphon for the 18th of December. We're on page 134, scholars. Quote unquote, Adonai, and leader of the house of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, come and redeem us with a stretched out arm. Isn't that interesting? Redeem us with a stretched out arm. That calls to mind the Bindi Matrix and Virgo's arm, and what? The handmaiden, right? Those stars that help you identify the figure that we just talked about a couple minutes ago. But we'll see what the author is bringing to our attention. The story of Myra In the 10th book of Ovid, that sounds like David, introducing the character of the old woman, Anna, the prophetess of Luke's gospel, the mother of the Virgin of the Catholic, the Nois of the Virgin of the pagan mythology. Y'all got that? So Anna is a nurse in the pagan mythology story, and Anna is the prophetess of Luke's gospel. So here we see again the mixing, or we see another evidence that Christianity is paganism. Okay, so now let's continue. Aiding and abetting the allegorical incest, I just talked about the incest, right? By which the virgin of the Zodiac, Virgo, is ultimately represented as the daughter, the wife, and the mother of the sun son. Let me check the time, y'all. All right, I'm still good. Y'all got that? All right. So page 135. On all which natural analogies, so clear, so beautiful, so instructive in their physical and philosophical interpretation, the clergy whose great aim in all ages, but never so much as at the present day. Remember, the present day was 1831 when this sermon was given, has been to keep mankind in ignorance. Well, that's their aim today. Nothing has changed. Do you think they got better at it or worse at it, y'all? They got 200 more years experience with keeping you ignorant. Do you think they got better or worse at keeping you ignorant? Okay? Have founded their monstrous mysteries of the conception of the Holy Ghost, have founded their monstrous mysteries of a conception by the Holy Ghost, a birth by the Virgin Mary, a Theotokos, a Dipara, a mother of God, a wife of her own father. Y'all got that? Her father is supposed to be the Tetragrammaton, or Jesus. That's right. If Jesus is God and God is the Tetragrammaton, if there's a Trinity, then that means Mary was created by God, her father, had a baby by her father. Well, let's let the author tell it. A wife of her own father, a daughter of her own husband, a sister of her own son, and mother of her brother, and all those other hideous spuricies which serve to show what a depth of degradation the human, the Han-Uman, the hybrid intellect, the monster's intellect, may be reduced to. I added the two. When once 'tis left to no more learning, then the priest will provide for it. All right? Y'all got it? In other words, if you only listen to the priest, they are debased. Okay? They're disgusting. Okay? You'll be reduced to marrying your own daughter, having a baby with your brother or your father. All right? Y'all got it? Everybody got it? So she's a daughter of her own husband. right? She's the daughter of the Most High. Okay, a sister of her son. Her son is Jesus, but yet she is the daughter of the Most High. So now they're brothers and sisters too. And mother of her brother. Christ is her brother, right? Y'all see how crazy and sick this is? But this is a very good demonstration of analytical thinking. I'm sorry, of critical thinking. Because as we critically think through these things, we can evaluate the morality of this stuff. And also the truthfulness of it, and accept it or reject it. But my question to you is, what conclusions do you come to? I hope everyone can see how Mary fits all of these roles that we're talking about. Now that's very immoral. That's a disgusting thing by today's standards, right, y'all? The word Mary is, as everyone knows, the same as the Latin word mare, M-A-R-E, the sea, S-E-A. Mary is the same as the Latin word mare, which means sea, S-E-A. And Mary in its plural form is Maria. So every time you see someone named Maria, you should think that's the plural form of Mary. Okay? Mer. All right? Pronounced Maria signifies the seas, S-E-A-S. As the adjective, marina. Marina is an adjective of or pertaining to the sea, S-E-A. So marina means of or pertaining to the sea. Read without the letter N, y'all got that? Marina without the letter N, read without the letter N after the ancient manner of writing. So in ancient times, marina did not have the letter N. Is the same word. Okay, so marina, M-A-R-I-N-A. Remove the N, you get M-A-R-I-A. So they threw the N in there to throw you off. Y'all see how they play with these letters? See how they play with words to deceive you? Do you see how not knowing how they get down with words, they can deceive you? With just adding a letter, a consonant, an N, or a vowel. But Jeremiah 8 verse 8 tells us that, right? That these scribes would write lies in the book of the law. Okay, they would make it into a religion. Clear as day, it says that. Okay, so as the adjective marina, which means of or pertaining to the sea, read without the letter N after the ancient manner of writing. So the etymological word, or the ancient word rather, is M-A-R-I-A, Maria. And then they changed it. The connotative word is marina, M-A-R-I-N-A. Okay? All right. All right, so M-A-R-I-A is the same word as Mary, right? Maria, the plural form of Mary. It's the same word. and was from the days of an infinite remote antiquity one of the names of the goddess Venus. So there you go. Mary is Venus. Mary is the goddess Venus. So another evidence of Christianity being pagan. Paganism. How did they hide it from you? By not teaching you etymology and linguistics in schools, and changing the meaning of words by adding in consonants and vowels. Okay, y'all? Y'all see it? All right. So Mary, from the most ancient of times, is a name of the goddess Venus. So when you're praying to Mama Mary, doing your prayer, rubbing your beads, you just remember that you are invoking the goddess Venus. The marine Venus, now remember, marine, water, marina, the marine Venus, as she was called by the Romans, the Venus Anadyomene of the Greeks, that is, Venus rising out of the sea, that is, precisely the character of Miriam, that's Moses' sister, the sister of Moses and Aaron, at the moment of their leading up the children of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, out of the Red Sea. When Miriam sang the beautiful allegorical song upon the moment of her foot standing on the horizon or shore. So the shore or the beach, they came up out of the Red Sea, walked onto the beach, that's the shore, that's the horizon. Okay? That's the horizon, okay? So she sang a song at the moment she stepped foot on the horizon or shore of the mighty deep. And here's the song she sang. Now y'all should make the correlation. The goddess Venus rising out of the sea, and then Miriam rising out of the sea as she and Israel walked out of the Red Sea onto the beach or onto the shore, the horizon. Quote, "Sing ye to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider," you should already know that that's talking about Sagittarius, right? A horse and a rider is a man. So the horse and the man is riding on the horse. Sagittarius is half man, half horse. So you should already see that. If you've been following my work, you should be able to see these clues. The horse and his rider he have thrown into the sea. End quote. At that moment, when the Spica Virginis is on the horizon. So now, Spica Virginis, we're talking what? Celestial. These are stars. Okay, so now we're not talking about the beach anymore. We're talking about the horizon. You look up, let's say, for example, you look as far as you can see. And then you can't see any further. That's the horizon, right? So now the Spica Virginis is at the horizon. Okay? So, the Spica Virginis, go back to page 134. bottom, the bottom of that top paragraph, it reads here, holding in her hand an ear of corn called Spica virginis. So at the horizon, you see the uh, stick or stalk of corn. The stalk of corn, the stars that make up the stalk of corn in Virgo's hand. Okay? The handmaiden, the stalk of corn in Virgo's hand is called the Spica virginis. You see it at the horizon. Okay, make the correlations, y'all. I hope everybody sees this. I wish I had pictures. If y'all want to see pictures of this, you can donate, and I'll have a professional artist create these images. It'll be a lot easier for you to see and understand, and it'll be more enjoyable too. All right, my PayPal is paypal.me/Zion Law School. All right, y'all. And I will get a professional artist here to draw these images, to draw these constellations. Make it colorful, the whole 9 yards. Beautiful. All right, so let's continue. At that moment, when the Spica virginis is at the horizon, the star Pollux, remember Pollux, the two twins? The star Pollux is at the meridian, and Sagittarius, which is the horse and his rider, who is the Pharaoh of the Old Testament, right? Pharaoh is riding on a horse chasing after Isis, Ra, and El. Y'all follow the story? And the Saul of the New Testament. Remember, Paul is riding on the horse, and then he falls off. The bright white light hits him, and he falls off the horse, and then he goes through his conversion. But you have to remember that in the gospel story, they took that part out about him falling off a horse. He was riding on a horse and he fell off the horse. They just have him fall to the ground. But in all of the artwork, if you remember, the statues, all of the artwork, they show Paul, who was Saul at that time, on a horse, and he's falling off of the horse. I did a community post about that. Y'all can see the image of Paul falling off of his horse. It's the Church of Paul, St. Paul. Y'all check my community post. You'll see it. Okay? All right? So again, the horse and his rider is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is Pharaoh of the Old Testament and Saul of the New Testament, directly pursuing Miriam and her company, right? Is at the bottom of the sea. So Pharaoh and his army are at the bottom of the sea. And this victory, remember the house of Isis, Ra, and El, they leave the Red Sea. They're on the shore, they're on the horizon. And then the Most High makes the water come back down. And Pharaoh, the horse and his rider, and all of his army, they drown in the Red Sea. Y'all remember the story? Okay. So now, Pharaoh is pursuing Miriam and her company. That's Isis, Ra, and El. Okay, so Pharaoh and his army again is at the bottom of the sea. And this victory of the Lord over Pharaoh is expressly declared to have been achieved. Note, y'all, note, this victory over Pharaoh is expressly declared to have been achieved with a stretched out arm. And look ye here, sirs, by heaven, if here is not the stretched out arm, the particular characteristic of the virgin of the Zodiac, the handmaid of the Lord. Some of y'all Hebrew Israelites might not like the fact that this story about Israel, Isis, Ra, and El walking through the parted Red Sea is astrological. Some of y'all might not like it, but what can you do about it? The truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. Now, you can say you don't believe it, but you cannot say it does not make sense. Right? Because it's clear as day. All right, y'all? So that's the handmaid of the Lord. All right? That is the handmaid of the Lord. That is the maid with the hand. Okay, y'all? This Venus, Anadumene, or Marine Venus, was the subject of the finest picture of all antiquity. Okay, this constellation, this goddess Venus, this Marine Venus, it was painted by Epiples from the person of his favorite mistress, Campespe, who had been given him by Alexander the Great. Well, I don't believe it because, whether this Alexander the Great or Alexander the Greek actually existed, I don't really think he did, but that's just my opinion, all right? It came afterward in the possession of the Roman Emperor Augustus, who had it placed in the temple which he built to honor his predecessor, Julius. Y'all see the mixing of Christianity and the paganism again? Y'all see it? From this famous picture or record of it, it is admitted that Raphael, Corriego, and Titian, even down to our Sir Joshua Reynolds, that's in 1831, y'all, formed the great works, which have never yet been missing from the altars of our Catholic cathedral. Oh, so they got the goddess Venus Adomene, or Marine Venus. They got this painting in the Catholic Church. None of y'all would have ever known that this correlates to the story of Miriam and her song that we just went over, and her stepping on the shore or on the horizon on the beach as they left or exited the Red Sea. So that is a remix of natural phenomena. In August, when the Specca Virginis is at the horizon. Now y'all know that if the Specca horizon is at the horizon and Sagittarius, or the horse and his rider, drowns, well, what I'm thinking is that now you can no longer see Sagittarius. So Sagittarius looks like it's under the water. You can no longer see it. But let's let the author speak for himself, okay? Let's let the author speak for himself. Where are we? Okay. And thus the face of the harlot Campespe has supplied the features of the Virgin Mary. Y'all got that? Now, the harlot Campespe, the whore, the prostitute, Campespe has supplied the features of the Virgin Mary. So the Virgin Mary is actually the harlot Campespe, the whore, the prostitute. That's who you're looking at, a prostitute, a whore, a slut, a tramp, a mistress of the sea, as it were. Y'all remember that? Page 135. The word Mary, as everyone knows, the same as the Latin word Mare, M-A-R-E, which means the sea, and in its plural form, Maria, pronounced Maria signifies the seas as the adjective marina, or let me repeat that, marina, of, which means of or pertaining to the sea. Sorry, y'all. Where did I get it? Hold on. Okay. Page 134, second paragraph. But why was her name Mary? It is precisely the same as the name Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, and literally signifies or means myrrh of the sea, or lady or mistress of the sea, whore or prostitute, tramp, slut of the sea. There's no virtue in being a prostitute, is there, y'all? Talk to me. So now here you have the image of the Virgin Mary, the Mother of God, the Mother of Christ. Hail Mary. Praying to Mary. The image is that of Campaspe, who is a prostitute, a whore. Just like the image of Jesus, the Christ figure, is what? Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia. A homosexual. Someone who, according to the story, slept with his own sister. Okay, y'all? So now both Jesus, the image that you worship, that your grandmother has on her wall, and the image of Mary that she has on her wall. I know my grandmother had a picture of Jesus, you know, the Caesar Borgia Jesus, and also Mary. Homosexual, incest participant. Did he kill his own brother, y'all? Did he kill someone in his own family? I don't remember everything about Caesar Borgia at the moment. And then you have a prostitute for Mary. So what is this telling you? Christianity is filthy. Filthy. Immoral. Y'all see the duplicity? Y'all think y'all been taught that it's so holy, morally upright, so virtuous, so clean, so pure. But when you go check out the history, when you consider the etymology, the philology, the astronomy, astrology, the science, and the history, the mythological, or the history as it's associated with mythology, and the art, you find that you've been bamboozled, you've been lied to, intentionally deceived. And most of you, unfortunately, are so deeply under a spell that even though you know this, you'll stick to it anyway. All right? Already y'all rationalizing. Oh, well, that was the Catholics, right? And they did this and they did that. Okay? They distorted, the devil trying to trick you. What else are y'all thinking? The devil's trying to trick you. The devil knew that Jesus was coming, and so he did all of these things to fool you. I'm trying to get my shoes together, y'all. Give me 1 second. The devil did all these things to fool you, right? All these rationalizations that you're going through. But you must remember the Apostles' Creed, the 12 doctrines or beliefs that the Catholic Church put forth, you believe, or you believe some variation of them. Maybe not all, but you believe many or most. The Catholic Church did that, so you're a Christian. You're a Catholic. But you're brainwashed and under a spell, and you don't realize it. All right? Matter of fact, let me go back to that. Let me give you this strong medicine. Let me give you this strong medicine again. Page 129, the beginning of the chapter. Virgo Paratura. In the second article of the Holy Church's most holy creed, falsely called the Apostles' Creed, because the apostles didn't do that, right? Are these words, quote unquote, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, end quote. If you believe that, you are a Catholic, you are a Christian, Hebrew Israelite, Baptist, Methodist, JW, Lutheran, Unitarian, you name it, you're a Catholic. You're under maritime admiralty jurisdiction, which is Catholic canon or Christian corporate jurisdiction. Period. Whether you like it or not. All right? And if the cognitive dissonance is getting to you, that's okay. That's just what it is for you at the moment, right? Hopefully you'll get over it sooner than later. But the evidence is undeniable, right? It's undeniable. Okay? Mary is a whore. And Jesus is a gay, as they say in Southeast Asia. Jesus is a gay. He's a person who engaged in incest and a murderer. All right? These are your gods. And y'all filthy. Right? And what did Jesus himself say out of his own mouth? He said, you'll know them by their fruit. Look at the fruit of Christianity. War, homosexuality, incest, murder, murder through war, murdering babies, all of the disgusting things. That's their fruit. Okay, look at you. Look at you and your lifestyle. Look how you live. Look how your husband, your consort, your woman, your wife, look how y'all live as Christians. Come on, tell me the truth. You know you ain't right. Jolie writes, thank you, Dr. Yasapa, for your enlightenment of the reality. It's my pleasure. Islam and Shalawama, Jolie. Good to see you back. Danica Pilbeam, hi. Islam and Shalawama, Danica. Good to see y'all here. All right, so what's the message in this? Let go of what's filthy. Be the alchemist that you are. Use higher law against lesser law and transmute out of religion, out of lower self behavior, into the higher self. Return to the Most High. which is following his commandments, which simply means living in harmony with nature, not harming anyone, including not harming yourself. Okay? Learn natural law. In learning natural law, you'll be led into learning constitutional principles which are based in natural law. You'll be led into learning how to enforce your rights. All of this comes with learning who you are. Okay? Like the Prophet Noble Darrell-El said, study yourself. Be yourself. In other words, be the God that you are. Psalms 82:6. Be the God that you are. Be the sovereign. Be the landlord. Whereas now, you're civilly dead, you're a religionist, and you're a bondman and a bondwoman. You are not being who you are. Remember who you are. Who you are is the great I am, that never had a beginning and never has an end. No limitations. That's who you are. That's what's meant by learn who you are and then be yourself. Be the sovereign. Okay? So the two documents that I mentioned earlier, the Constitution and the treaty that I mentioned earlier, okay, these you can correlate with Deuteronomy chapter 30, walking into the blessings. But anyway, let's keep it moving. All right, and thus the face of the harlot, the whore, the tramp, the trick, the slut, Campespe, has supplied the features of the Virgin Mary, the name Mary signifying mistress of the sea, so distinctly characterizing the marine Venus, is further identified by the vulgar versions of it into Poli and Pole. Y'all got that? See, words matter. Words matter. Words matter. No matter how you try, and I'm talking to a specific friend of mine, no matter how you try to discount that words have meaning, that doesn't change what the truth is. Words have meaning. What it meant at the beginning is what it means now. Okay? It doesn't change. And you cannot overlook it. And your alibi is that that's not what it means now, or that's not what you think it means. No, 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 no. Words have a vibration. Okay? Words have a vibration. Words are natural. Linguistics are natural laws. That if you violate them, it's going to bite you. Okay? And you'll realize you've been bitten by the law of cause and effect. That's a Hermetic law. Okay? Remember, anything you say can and will be used against you. All right? And remember that public policy and tribunals are what's used to harass us and to lock us up, to terminate us. Okay, I got that straight out of the book of the law, underneath the English. Okay, right up underneath the English, it says that. Anyway, let's continue. So pole and poly, okay, so these are vulgar versions of it, which are common epithets of the sea. The Greek word polos for many, referring to the many waves of the sea, addressed by our English poet, quote, "Hail, thou inexhaustible source of wonder, and contemplation. Hail, thou mountainous ocean, end quote. And in the first Iliad of Homer, we have the noble epithet of the sea. Okay, and that's written in Greek, so I'm not going to read that. Y'all got that? So pole and pollux, these are vulgar ways to refer to the sea. Pollux being Greek. Okay, the Greek word pollux for many, referring to the many waves of the sea. Y'all got that? Clear? Again, it says here, the vulgar versions of it, that is marine Venus, they changed that into Polly, P-O-L-L-Y, and Pole, P-O-L-L, which are common epithets of the sea. Common ways of talking about the sea in 1831. Y'all got it? All right. That no such a person as the goddess Venus or the goddess Ceres, C-E-R-E-S, the goddess of corn and harvest, that's who Ceres is, that's a harvest, that's Virgo, ever really existed is admitted by everyone. And the pretense of their existence is accounted for in a moment by the natural tendency of the mind to allegorize and personify all its abstract ideas. Now, I disagree with that. I don't think that there's a natural tendency to allegorize nature. Why? Because I don't do that. I don't know anybody who does it. So it is not natural, at least not for a Moor. Because I don't know anybody who does that. That's why most people find the Bible such difficult reading, right? Because you're not used to all of these allegories, all of the metaphors, okay? Now I gotta pack up and go, y'all, but I'm gonna talk until I finish this. All right? So I don't know anybody who does that. So I disagree with the author on that point. And I disagree because it's not my experience, okay? So those of you who let me rephrase that. Hold on, y'all. One moment. One moment. So it's always a good idea, a good practice. It's always a good practice to look at things from your own experience in life. All right, y'all? And if you don't see these things in your experience in life, don't accept them or disagree. Okay, y'all? Because otherwise, you'll be sitting there agreeing with something that you don't have a basis for it. So you give it full faith and credit. Islam to all the Moors and Shalawama.